you ever had one of those relationships where, like, you just can't seem to get on the same page as the other person? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that.
Alright, I'll help you try. It always feels like there's something.
Oh, yeah.
Today we're going to do a deep dive into the perspective of this kind of thing. You know, we talk a lot about karma on this show, but we're kind of flipping the script on how we normally think about karma, at least for today. Instead of karma being this external thing that happens to you, like a cosmic reward, punishment system.
Right.
What if it was actually more of an internal thing? And to get into this, you will look at this really interesting YouTube video.
Okay.
It's from the channel LIGHT. Well, it's long. Yeah. It's this person thought they had you pegged in control. Now they're seeing their karma is to funnel loose signal.
That's bad.
Look at it, yeah. And they definitely lean into the emoji game in their titles.
Well, it gets your attention.
It does, it does.
What's the basic idea? What's the central part?
So basically the video is saying that karma is all about your internal energetic state.
Okay.
And they call this your frequency, right? You vibrate at a certain frequency, and it's affected by, well, pretty much everything you do.
I can see where they might be going with this.
Like, you know, you probably felt it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, after you do something that you know wasn't cool, if you lied to someone, you're unnecessarily good at it. There's this, you know, this kind of heaviness you feel after. And the video says this is because when you do stuff like that, when you act in a way that's not aligned with by itself, it makes your spirit unclean. That's it. And that uncleanliness actually lowers your frequency, it makes your vibration kind of sluggish or heartbeat or something.
Interesting. So it's like the more negative stuff you do, the lower the frequency.
That's the idea. And then this lower frequency starts to mess with how you perceive everything around you.
I can see that. I mean, we all know, like, when we're in a bad mood, it's easy to misinterpret things, you know, see everything through a negative lens. Everyone's out to leave you, nothing's going right, that's what it is.
And it's not that reality is actually changing, right? It's just the perception of it has gotten lost.
Exactly. So this video is saying that, like, the lower your frequency is, the more distorted your perception of reality.
Yeah, and it can get to a point where, like, the video says you literally won't be able to see something, what God said to see.
Whoa, okay, so it's like you're saying that our actions, our karma, can actually block us from seeing good in other people, or even the good that other people try to bring into our lives.
That's exactly it.
That's kind of huge.
It is huge. It kind of reframes that like you're the right person.
Right.
Maybe it's not about time at all, about resonance. Like if someone's frequency is way lower than yours, they might just not be able to pick up on what you're putting down, no matter how good your intentions are. So like you could be the most perfect person in theory.
Right.
But if they're not vibrating at a certain frequency, it's like trying to match a radio station.
Yeah, just get static.
Exactly, static.
Yeah.
Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The video says that when you show up authentic as yourself, especially when you operate at a higher frequency, it can actually trigger something in those people who are vibrating at a lower frequency. Well, like their perception might be so distorted that it actually activates their karmic codes and something that they don't.
Oh, I see. It's like holding up a mirror to them and they don't like see.
Yeah, and the video uses this really strong phrase. They say that you're being blocked out. Their eyes are projecting all this stuff on you.
And this is what activates their karma. Just you being yourself.
That's what they're saying. And because they're operating at that lower frequency, they might see your light, your positive energy as like a threat or an accusation that says something.
Yeah, I can see that. Like someone who's really insecure might see someone else's confidence as arrogance, you know? Or someone who's really judgmental might see someone else's kindness as weakness.
Yeah, and the video even goes as far as to say that like a simple smile, you know, something that's normally seen as a positive thing, they might interpret it as you being fake.
Oh, wow. That's a really interesting.
And the more you try to engage with it, the more you try to explain yourself, the worse it gets. Because they're just not able to see you clearly.
Oh, wow.
And the video says that when you refuse to play into that negativity, when you hold on to your own higher frequency, don't let them drag you down, you actually actually become an activity for their internal karma process.
So it's like by not engaging in the drama, you're actually helping them to face that stuff.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
But it can be so tough,
Yeah.
because it feels like you're being misunderstood and your kindness is being taken advantage of.
It is tough. It's like you're speaking two completely different languages. Like they literally do not understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the video really drives this point home by saying that the difference in frequency can be so vast that it's like one person is speaking in, this is a direct quote, parables or codes.
Wow. So it's like they're trying to communicate with the other person that's just not equipped to receive the message.
Not at all. And it's not just about how we interact with each other. The video talks a lot about this all starts within ourselves. Like, before we can even harm another person, we first have to make our own spirit.
That makes sense.
Right. And it gives this powerful image of drawing the sword. It's like we're attacking ourselves first.
Oh, I get it. And then like that creates vulnerabilities in our own energy.
Yeah, this creates holes in the world.
And when someone else's positive energy or light shines on those people, it can be really uncomfortable.
And that discomfort, that's what leads to all those intense reactions, the obsession, the fixation, the anger, the hostility.
It's like they're trying to put out the light because it's showing them things they don't see.
Exactly. It goes back to that difference in how people approach their problems. Some people try to fix things by controlling and harming others, while others do the internal work, self-reflection, and personal growth to raise their own frequency.
So it's not enough to just understand what karma is intellectually, right? Like you have to actually do the work to change your frequency.
That's what the video said. And even if someone isn't consciously aware of their negative actions or they don't feel remorse for them, their frequency still embodies the truth.
It's like karma is baked into your being.
Yeah, exactly. But the video says frequency doesn't lie.
Yeah, and that can be really tough to accept, I think, especially people who are used to seeking external solutions to their problems.
Absolutely. And the video describes this state of being lost in their own thoughts.
Lost in their own thoughts.
Yeah, it's like they're so caught up in their own negativity and their distorted perceptions that they can't see through.
I've been in that.
And from their perspective, your true nature, your higher frequency, it might be completely invisible.
That you're not even speaking the same way.
And if they do catch a glimpse of who you really are, they might try to twist it, exploit it, or even destroy it just to maintain their own sense of control.
It's like they're afraid of it.
But here's the thing, this is really important. The video says that your kindness in these situations, it's not a weakness. It can actually be a powerful tool for your own growth. Because by observing these interactions through the lens of frequency, you can learn so much about yourself and about energetic dynamics.
It's like it gives you a new perspective on the situation.
Yeah, and it helps you detach from the drama and not take it so personally.
It's not about condoning their behavior.
No, not at all.
It's about understanding.
Right. And ultimately, according to this perspective, no one can escape their karma because it's literally uncaged with your frequency.
That's a powerful thought.
It is. So to bring this all together, what we've been talking about today is this idea that karma is not an external system of rewards and punishments, but rather an internal state of frequency that shapes how we perceive the world and how others perceive us.
And that your presence can actually be catalyst for this karmic process just by being authentically yourself.
Which is kind of wild when you think about it. And that brings us to something I want you to consider as we wrap up today's deep dive. Think about a relationship in your life that's particularly challenging. One where you just can't seem to find common ground. Now, what if you look at that relationship through this lens of internal karma and frequency? What if, instead of focusing on what you're doing wrong and what the other person's doing wrong, you consider the possibility that you're simply operating at different frequencies?
That's a really interesting question.
It is, right? And how might that shift in perspective change how you choose to respond, or even how you choose not to respond in that relationship moving forward?
That's definitely something